Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Conversations.
Hi there. We are thrilled to have you join us for today's lesson.
Today, we have an exciting topic for our intermediate and upper intermediate learners. We are going to listen to a discussion about a classic book.
That is right. The CFR level for this dialogue is B2. We will be using natural vocabulary and idioms suitable for expressing opinions and analyzing literature.
The book we are discussing today is The Odyssey, the ancient Greek epic poem.
It is a fascinating story about the long journey of a hero trying to get home.
In this dialogue, two friends share their thoughts on the plot, character development, and major themes.
As you listen, pay attention to how they express agreement, disagreement, and how they ask follow-up questions to keep the conversation going.
This will help you improve your own discussion skills in English.
Exactly. So let's dive into the conversation and see what they think about this timeless epic.
Hey, have you finished reading The Odyssey yet? I know we both started it last week.
Yes, I just finished the last few chapters last night. It was quite an adventure. What did you think of the overall plot?
I found it absolutely captivating, though the narrative structure is surprisingly complex for such an ancient text. Starting in media residential really keeps you on your toes.
I completely agree. Beginning the story in the middle of Odysseus's journey, and then using flashbacks to explain how he got there was a brilliant narrative choice by Homer.
Definitely. It builds suspense right from the start. I was particularly gripped by his encounters with the Cyclops and the Sirens. Those episodes are so vivid.
They really are. But I must admit, some parts of his 10-year journey felt a bit repetitive. It seemed like he would escape one danger only to immediately fall into another trap.
That is a fair point, but I think that repetition serves to highlight the sheer scale of his struggles and the anger of the gods, especially Poseidon.
True, Poseidon's wrath is a major driving force of the plot. It makes you wonder how much of Odysseus's journey was fate and how much was his own doing.
Exactly. That is one of the central questions of the epic. What did you think about the pace of the second half of the book, when he finally returns to Ithaca?
The pace definitely slows down once he gets back home. The build-up to the confrontation with the suitors is very detailed.
Yes, but I thought the tension in those chapters was incredible. The disguise as a beggar was a clever plot device to test loyalty before the final showdown.
I agree. It really heightened the anticipation for the climax when he finally strings the bow.
Let's talk about the characters. Odysseus is often described as a hero, but he is far from perfect, don't you think?
Absolutely. He is incredibly cunning and resourceful, which is why he is called the man of twists and turns. His trick with the Cyclops shows his high intellect.
Yes, but his pride, or hubris, is his major flaw. Revealing his real name to the Cyclops Polyphemus was a huge mistake that brought Poseidon's curse upon him.
That is so true. His ego got the better of him there. It shows that he is a complex, flawed protagonist rather than a simple, flawless hero. How did you feel about Penelope's character?
I was actually very impressed by Penelope. In many ways, she is just as clever and strong-willed as Odysseus.
I thought so too. Her scheme with the Shroud of Laertes, where she wove it by day and unwove it by night to delay the suitors, was brilliant.
It really was. She showed incredible resilience and loyalty, managing to hold off dozens of pushy suitors for 20 years while keeping the kingdom together.
Yes, and her refusal to immediately accept Odysseus when he revealed himself shows how cautious and smart she is. She tested him with the secret of their olive tree bed.
That was a fantastic scene. It proved that they are a perfect match in terms of wit. What about Telemachus? Did you feel he grew as a character?
Definitely. At the beginning, he is passive against the suitors. But by the end, after his own journey to find news of his father, he stands tall beside Odysseus in battle.
Yes, his coming-of-age story is a very satisfying subplot of the epic. There are so many rich themes in this book. For me, the theme of Nostos, or homecoming, is the most powerful.
I agree. The entire epic is driven by Odysseus's deep desire to return to his home, his wife, and his son. It shows that home is not just a place but an identity.
Absolutely. Another theme that really stood out is xenia, the ancient Greek concept of hospitality. It seems to be a moral code that everyone is judged by.
Oh, definitely. The contrast between good hosts like King Alcinous and bad hosts like the Cyclops or the suitors who abused Penelope's house is very clear.
Yes, Homer shows that treating guests with respect is a sacred duty, and violating it brings severe punishment from the gods, especially Zeus.
It is fascinating how hospitality is treated as a measure of civilization. The Cyclops is portrayed as uncivilized because he violates the rules of hospitality and harms his visitors.
That is indeed an extreme example of poor hospitality. What about the theme of fate versus free will? Do you think the characters had a choice?
I think it is a mix. The gods certainly intervene constantly, but the characters' own choices, like the crew eating the cattle of Helios, ultimately seal their fates.
I agree. The gods set the parameters, but human actions and moral choices still dictate the specific outcomes. It makes the story feel very modern.
Yes, it is amazing how a story written thousands of years ago can still feel so relevant and engaging today.
That was an excellent discussion. I really enjoyed exploring the depth of the Odyssey with you.
Me too. Let's highlight some of the B2 level literature terms and vocabulary we used.
We mentioned in media res, which is a Latin phrase meaning in the middle of things, describing how the story starts.
We also talked about hubris, which refers to excessive pride, a common flaw in tragic heroes.
Yes, and we discussed xenia, the concept of hospitality, which is a key cultural theme in the epic.
We used the term protagonist to describe the main character, Odysseus, and cunning to describe his cleverness.
Another great term was coming of age, which represents Telemachus's growth from a boy to a man.
We also talked about fate and free will, which are opposite forces shaping the characters' lives.
These terms are very useful when you want to participate in a book club discussion in English.
Absolutely. We hope this dialogue helps you feel more confident expressing your own literary opinions.
If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Daily English Conversations for more CFR-graded dialogues.
Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you for learning with us today.
See you next time. Keep reading and keep practicing your English.
Goodbye, everyone.